The original Micromax Canvas Express was announced in December 2014 at a price of Rs 6,999. The successor, the Canvas Express 2, was announced late last month at a price of Rs 5,999. However, mere specifications and a cheaper price tag alone doesn't mean that a phone is better than its predecessor or that it is a good buy at the time. We need to see how well it fares in real life, and for that, we need to dive into the review. Hi guys, it's Sandeep from Phone Arena, and this is the review of the Micromax Canvas Express 2 smartphone. The original Canvas Express had a rectangular design with sharp corners. The back too was quite flat apart from the slightly beveled edges, and overall the phone had a very blocky design. The Canvas Express 2 on the other hand has a well-rounded design both at the corners as well as the curved back panel. It feels better in the hand and is very easy to hold and handle. The Canvas Express 2 has a larger 5-inch display with a higher pixel count of 1280 by 720 pixels. Although some might argue that the phone should have had a higher density display, we really didn't feel that it was too pixelated or lacked in resolution. Besides, at this price point, a 720p HD display is a great feature to have. The second generation phone also has Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection on top, which we found to be quite scratch resistant and durable in our time of using the device. The display shows rich colors but isn't too saturated to feel unnatural. It also has clear motion technology that you can choose to enable or disable, and what it basically does is make videos look smoother. The display has good brightness and the sunlight legibility is good too, and the display isn't too reflective. The viewing angles are quite good too, and the contrast remains more or less constant regardless of what angle you look at the display. The smartphone has a tiny notification LED above the display on the left. Although it is small, it is bright enough to grab your attention and alert you of any notifications. However, the notification light is capable of lighting up only in green or red and not in any other color. Above the display, you also have the ambient light as well as proximity sensors, the earpiece, and the front-facing 2-megapixel camera. The earpiece looks like it's been lifted straight out of a Nexus 5, and while that isn't good news for Google, it definitely is a nice design for consumers. The phone uses on-screen navigation keys, so there's nothing under the display. Call quality is very good on the Express 2, both through the loudspeaker as well as the earpiece. At the right side, you have the volume rocker button as well as the power/lock key. Things are empty on the left side as there are no ports or controls here. At the top, you have the 3.5mm audio jack as well as the secondary microphone. At the bottom, you have the micro USB port, the speaker grills, as well as the primary microphone which is hidden neatly in one of the grills. The bottom looks very similar to the iPhone in terms of design, especially considering the placement of the speaker grills and the color tone of the device. At the back, we have the 13-megapixel primary camera along with a dual LED flash. The camera unit is ever so slightly raised from the body. However, there's a nice groove ring around the camera lens that should help it protect from scratches. The Micromax logo is also present here, and it has a nice 3D effect as it is first ingressed and then has elements that are raised from the body. The 13-megapixel camera has good imaging quality and the detailing is great for a low price phone such as this. The colors, however, seem to be a bit washed out most of the time, and the dynamic range isn't very impressive. HDR manages to solve the issue of the dynamic range as the camera manages to capture really good detail in the shadows as well as highlights. Noise levels are kept to a minimum in most shots, however under low light it is easily noticeable. White balancing isn't the best as most photos tend to have more of yellow than any other color. The smartphone can capture videos at a maximum of 1080p resolution at 30fps. But it records this in a 3GP format, which is quite outdated and the videos get compressed quite a bit. Since there is no hardware stabilization, the videos do seem to be quite jerky, but we aren't complaining. Hardly any phone at this price range comes with OIS. The Canvas Express 2 comes with 8GB of storage that can be expanded using microSD cards, and luckily there's a dedicated microSD card slot, which means you don't have to sacrifice one of your SIM card slots in order to add a microSD. The phone supports microSD cards up to 32GB in capacity, and users can set either the phone memory or the SD card as the default write disk. Out of 8GB of internal memory, users get around 4.66GB of free space, at their disposal upon boot. It is also good to note that Micromax has included USB OTG support for the Express 2. The phone has support for 2 micro SIM cards, however, there is no support for 4G LTE. You do get 3G support but only on one SIM at a time, while the other remains in 2G. The phone does support dual band Wi-Fi, which is great for a phone in this price range, but we occasionally faced issues when connecting to 5 GHz networks when the connection would get disconnected all of a sudden. The Canvas Express 2 comes with Android 4.4.2 KitKat. It is upgradable to Android 5.0 Lollipop, however, it hasn't received that update yet. The software is quite close to stock Android, and that is good as it doesn't impact the phone's performance. However, the phone does come with quite a lot of bloatware, although luckily users will be able to uninstall them without any issues. Since the UI is pretty much close to stock Android, there really isn't any feature that stands out and is worth mentioning. The interface is smooth and functions without much lag. It didn't hang up on us, nor did we have any issues when multitasking either. If we are picky, perhaps the only slight issue would be the time taken when switching between apps if you have plenty of them running in the background. The phone managed to get a one charge rating of 8 hours and 44 minutes in our battery tests. The Canvas Express 2 is definitely a worthy successor to the original Canvas Express. That can be said probably just by looking at the spec sheet itself. But is it worth the Rs 5,999 price tag? Again, the answer would have to be yes. While the phone isn't without faults, it exceeded our expectations from a phone that is priced so low. The design feels premium, the screen is of great quality, the audio quality is great, and the camera is pretty good too. The software is probably the main issue with the phone, but then again that's something that can always be updated, and Micromax is promising an update to Android 5.0 Lollipop soon. That should make the phone an even better buy. If this phone matches your budget, then we really don't see a reason why you shouldn't get it if you're willing to overlook a few negatives. Listed here are the pros and cons of the device. If you like the video, do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.